Hello and welcome to a special edition of AGT Time. We have been busy the last couple weeks. I moved from one town to another town a couple of weeks ago. Cody Patterson is on vacation this week, so trying to put out a little bit of content for you guys as we are heading into the live performances. We've actually got 2 weeks to talk about here. Judge Cuts episode 3 with Ellie Kemper, and then Judge Cuts episode 4 with Jay Leno. We're going to walk through some of the highlights here, maybe not hit all the acts quite as hard as we did when Cody and I are talking together, but we'll put some content out here and hopefully kind of give a quick refresher of these last Judge Cuts rounds leading into the live performances. So first person, Judge Cuts Part 3 was Greg Morton. He's the 60-year-old impersonator. His first round, he did all the impressions from Star Wars. This year, he spread it out to a much wider net. It was basically all the blockbuster movies from the last, 20, 30 years. We had Jurassic Park, Back to the Future, Buzz Lightyear, Space Jam, E.T., Gremlins, Wizard of Oz, Batman, Lord of the Rings. He had Gollum there. It was just rapid fire, one after another. All these different voices. Judges loved it. Ellie Kemper said it was upbeat and lightning speed. Julianne said that was a risk and it was worth it. I think this is a really good act, and it was all that I could hope for from Greg Morton. He ramped it up. He didn't just do one movie, but he did probably 15 or 20 different voices, very rapidly, very fun, very accurately. He does them so quickly. Like, he's got these things just in his pocket, ready to come out with the next voice and the next voice and the next voice. You can tell that he's very, very practiced. He could maybe improve his material. I'm thinking that he could be a little bit more funny, or, how a ventriloquist will sort of introduce themselves or have conversations with themselves. I'd like to see him maybe do a little bit more of that, but that's a very small critique. Maybe I'd like to say that it's something that he could use to be even better, not something that he's bad at. So, moving on from there, we had Carmen Carter. She's a 55-year-old singer. She has dreams of getting to the next level. She sings the Beatles song, Come Together. It totally sings it in a really groovy way. I'd never heard the song done this way. I really like Come Together by the Beatles. It's kind of a funky song, very funky lyrics. And she slows it down, adds some soul to it. Ellie said, I felt your heart, I felt your soul. Howie said, you are worthy of going through, good luck. Simon said, even though it wasn't perfect, your voice is outstanding. But you can't keep doing covers. I disagreed with him. I think she can take songs and twist them this far and continue doing covers. I'm totally for it. So I think she's terribly likable, easy to root for. Like I said, I like her covers. I think that she could continue to do that and do just fine. She may have started at a level 7 and ramped it up to a level 10. Maybe start at a level 1, 2, 3, and give a little bit more dynamics in hers. But she did well. So I was expecting to see more of her after her audition. Next, we had Nicholas Wallace. He's the illusionist. He said he was going to be a little bit more hands-on this time, but the bad news is he didn't get an intro package. Terry Crews is imagining a place on Earth. Nicholas draws that place with sand, so he's kind of a sand artist too, I guess. But Terry said he was envisioning the Statue of Liberty, and they revealed that Nicholas Wallace's image in the sand was, in fact, the Statue of Liberty. It was not his best performance. Simon said it was quite boring, actually. Howie said it's amazing and unexplainable, but slow. I didn't love his first performance with the haunted rocking chair. I didn't think it was going to get better. This is not looking good for him. The next one was Roy Underwood and Magic. That's to say that his dog's name is Magic. This is like Lucas and Falco, but older and slower. And it's just part of the montage, right? Simon says, I like to watch the audience watch an act because that lets me know how they're doing. And apparently they weren't too impressed. Next up, we've got Gonzo. He's our tambourine player from Japan. He does get his intro package, and he's doing some traditional Japanese karate moves. He says there's no room for mistakes. But when he has the tambourine, he comes out and he's got the tambourine on like a tether of some kind, like a bungee cord. I think that's kind of interesting. And they play Bonnie Tyler's "I Need a Hero," and he throws and receives tambourine back to him. Pretty similar act to the last one, but enjoyable. If you think of this as a rhythm instrument, a la playing the spoons or any other, even if it's a drum set, you have somebody doing a solo on a drum kit, there's a performance element to it, and he definitely brings a performance element to the tambourine. Howie says there's an element of surprise and you're raising it to another level. Gabrielle says, I love this performance. May not be better than the first time, and thinks that maybe he did a disservice by covering up more. Julianne said, I love it. Everyone was asleep before you came out here. Simon said, I'd be sorry to lose you. I think he's legitimately a very good tambourine player, and he's also entertaining on top of that. It's fun to watch him and fun to listen to him. I like this act a lot. He walks this line between taking himself very seriously and totally not seriously at all. And, like a very good saxophone player who is also able to play yakety sax, right? It's not an easy piece to play. You have to be able to play sax well to be able to play yakety sax, but it's totally a crowd pleaser. And he's totally a crowd pleaser. I have no problem seeing more of him coming up. I don't think that he can win, but I think that he can make it at least to the semis or possibly even the finals here. So next group is Revolution. They're the Malambo dancers from Argentina, all women. They get a short intro package. They do their big drums. They do some flaming drumsticks, the bolero ropes and high kicks, but they definitely get the fast-forward treatment from the editors here. Gabrielle says, you literally set the stage on fire. Simon says, this was a great act, and it's unique and powerful. It's good. I don't have a lot to say about this. It was pretty similar to the first time through. Definitely got the fast-forward treatment. Don't expect to see more of them. Then we had Marcin Patzalek. Marcin, we'll call him. He also got kind of a half of an intro package. Simon noticed a flamenco influence, so he used that to inspire this piece that he's going to play. He plays his guitar. He's the one that the guitar's like an extension of him. He's so fast. He's so accurate. He's so fun to listen to. His songs build such great tension. I really, really enjoy him. Allie said, you're a virtuoso artist, genius in this way. Gabrielle said, you're a rock star, unique, dynamic, and explosive. Julianne said, you are natural. You appeal to everyone. Out on a limb, I think you have a shot to win this whole thing. Simon said, you, the guitar, and a couple of wires, and got the reaction that you got among the best musicians he's ever heard. So I think he's really easy to listen to, really easy to cheer for. So good at what he does. He has the ability not just to execute the music, but also write it. And I think that the arrangement is part of the talent that should not be overlooked. I'd expect to see him top 5. I really, really like Marcin. Next we have Jacob Norton. This is one of those things that we didn't see him in the first rounds, and he got sort of the fast-forward treatment here. Kind of a lounge singer style. He's 15 years old. Really would love to see more of him. He sang a crazy little thing called Love. The only comment we got was Simon said, you're very talented, but not as good as your first. So not looking good for him. And then we jump to Patrizio. This is the guy that plays piano and surprised everybody in his first audition with like the coming off the piano bench and doing some robot dancing a la Kenichi Adina. He's good. He kind of played his one trick already. Howie said, you're amazingly talented, but this wasn't a step up. And that's all we got from him, too. So not expecting to see more of him. Certainly enjoyable, but we get what we get. Now we've got Ansley Burns. She's our 12-year-old singer. Super cute. She gets an intro package. The part that stuck out to me was saying out here, there's no sweet tea anywhere, which is crazy. So she sings a song called Good Girl by Carrie Underwood. Simon interrupts her again, and he makes her sing it a cappella again. Man, Ellie said it was astounding. I thought it was beautiful. Gabrielle said, you did it at your audition, and you did it again. You blew it out of the water. Simon said, you've got an amazing personality. This is way better than the first. You've got something special about you. At the end of the day, I didn't really care for Ansley. I didn't think she was a top-tier singer. A cappella or with the backing track. She's as cute as could possibly be, but I did not see this as one of my favorite acts of the night. Next up, though, was Light Balance Kids. They certainly get an intro package. And they do light balance, but with kids. And they add some extra technology in which they're able to interact with a screen in some way. It's kind of the same, make sure you're in the right spot when your light flashes, be in the right spots. Ellie says, this is definition of spectacle. If only there was some surefire way to get you through to the lives. And she's the golden buzzer, or gives them the golden buzzer. So, it's probably more enjoyable live than it is on the TV screen. The judges certainly love them. My problem is that they're not great storytellers. I can't tell you what I saw out of the act. I remember there being a basketball that kind of came out of nowhere in the second half, and there were blockheads, and there was flashing and passing a basketball around, but there was no cohesive thought through the whole thing. It's just kind of the technology for technology's sake, not actually useful or good. So, they must be fun to watch live. I'd rather see this as adults than as kids. I didn't think that they were golden buzzer worthy or really top tier for my money. Next group of the night is a group called Stephanie's Child. They do in fact get a intro package, but we did not see them in the auditions. This is 3 drag queens, and they go back to their first audition, which we did not see. And Simon, conversation they had with him about should they lip sync or should they not lip sync. These 3 drag queens, they sing their own lyrics, they sing their own songs, and Simon's saying, maybe you should go back and reconsider lip syncing. I could not listen to that screaming for another minute. And he says, I loved it, and we're going to fight to make you one of the remaining 6. I got the sense that they weren't going to go through based on the edit. I thought their vocals were actually pretty tight. Dancing was not that impressive. Are they memorable? Yes. Are they entertaining? Kind of. Are they a winning kind of act? No. They're not the best. Not the best out there. So, jumping up ahead, we got Nick and Lindsay. This is the Sideshow Circus. They get an intro package. They're from New Orleans. She plays violin. He sings Phantom of the Opera, Music of the Night. While he's putting razor blades into his mouth, then she pulls them out with her toes, and then they get out the bed of nails while he continues to sing, and he takes off his shirt. They put a cinder block on his chest. She busts that with a flaming sledgehammer, and then he stands in front of the board while she bends over backwards to throw a knife over her head backwards. The whole time he's singing his Phantom of the Opera. Ellie said, I was worried because it wasn't so precise. Julianne said, you're fun, you're dangerous, you up the ante. Simon said, it's fantastically nuts. I wasn't even thinking about the singing. None of it's great, but collectively, it's fantastic. And I kind of totally agree with Simon on this one. Like, not the best singer, not the best knife thrower, not the best danger act, but all of it together, it's just so likable. And I think there's something about the quaintness, the charm of them that I really do enjoy. I could say that they might fall into what I call tapping dad syndrome, where their charm from being amateurs is what makes them great. And if they weren't amateurs, if they did this professionally, they would certainly be in a different kind of league. And they're not the best of the best, but man, I find them terribly likable. So moving on here, we got Andre and Alexander. They do a gymnastics bar routine. Two gentlemen that are swinging on like parallel bars opposite of each other. Very precise, very professional. That's what Julianne said anyhow. Precision, professionalism. But the fact that we didn't see these people's first audition or much of their second, we're not going to see any more of them. So we've got Duo Maintenant next. This is the danger acrobatic balance duo. She is the itty bitty one, the former gymnast. Ellie says, "I cannot get over the physical ability." Howie said, "So seamless and so smooth." "What you did was ridiculous," said Julianne. So they're a fun act. They did really well. I would expect to see more of them too. And after Duo Maintenant, we had Edson and Leon. They're going to get an intro package. We're going to actually learn a little bit about Leon and Edson. Leon likes to train. Edson likes to eat. Leon is the older of the two gentlemen. This was the hand balancing act. They come out. They're costumed in their up characters. Leon looking particularly grandpa-ish. And Edson is in the Boy Scout uniform. Edson lifts, Leon flies, lots of balancing, lifting. The best move, Edson was flat on the ground. They grab each other at the elbow. Leon gets off the ground and then twists sideways. So he's kind of using like that third axis. It's not just vertical and horizontal, but they're thinking three-dimensionally when they design their moves. So really fun to watch, really likable guys. Allie said, beyond impressive. I love the way you slink along the stage like it's no big deal. Gabrielle said it's endearing and charming and death-defying. Julianne said the first audition was outstanding, and you made our jobs a lot harder. Simon said this is something we've never seen before and quite inspiring. I don't know that it's something that we've never seen before, but really fun to watch. Not the best hand balancers, but again, as a couple of amateurs doing this, they are super impressive. So next we had Melissa Arleth. She's a 40-year-old rat trainer. She does get her intro package. It gets kind of a slow start. The rat does not follow the directions, but then the rat does complete a whole obstacle course across a trolley, up and down ladders, across a rope. Highlight again was when Melissa was the bridge, but this time instead of doing the splits upside down for the rats to cross across her leg, she hung upside down from her ankles, from like a chin-up bar, and then after some coaxing, her rat moved down to her torso where she was able to turn sideways and left the rat onto the next part of the obstacle course. So Ellie said, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Howie said, anyone who's tried to cross Manhattan knows that it takes time and coaxing. Gabrielle said, I absolutely loved it. Simon said, this was fun. I don't think it'll get you through to the Dolby. I liked it. I didn't love this act. It was not the smoothest. I would expect this to be the end of her time at AGT. So, yes, it's unique. Yes, it's fun. Man, I think that if she could do multiple rats, bring a little bit more to the stage at a time instead of just one, maybe we'd be seeing a little bit more. But that's Melissa. Finally, we had Mackenzie. He does get an intro package. Blood vessel in his vocal folds broke, and he couldn't sing anymore. But he's healed and he's back. So there's your tearjerker of a story for him. Sings "Faithfully" by Journey. Ellie said the joy was totally undeniable. It was raw. It was you. I loved it. Howie said the way you performed that song gave me a whole different understanding. Julianne said effortless. In the first audition, this one felt pushed. Simon said, how can you criticize that? It was amazing. Best singer of the night. I love that it was just him and a piano. I'm jealous that when I sing, people don't react the same way to me. He has sex appeal, he has skill, but, it's just not my bag. He has some charisma that it's hard to fault him on that. People do like him. I don't think he's the best singer of the night or the best singer of the competition. I did not think that his backstory was fleshed out enough to really make us think that we're going to see him. So that's the 18 acts. We're going to get to results here. We see Greg Morton, our impressionist, and Marcin, the guitar player. They both come out, and they're both going through. So I'm thinking, all right, that's good. I like both of those. Next, we've got Nicholas Wallace, Roy Underwood and his Dancing Dog Magic, and Patrizio Rada. None of those three go through. We're going to continue on. We got Andre and Alexander, Edson and Leon, and Duo Montanat come out. All three of those are also eliminated. I thought Duo Montanat might be the ones going through here. But then we have both Mackenzie and Carmen Carter. The singers come out, and they're all going through. Then we've got another group of three. Melissa Arleth with her rat, Revolution, the Bolero dancers, and Stephanie's Child, the drag queens. All three of them are eliminated. So we've got Nick and Lindsay, the sideshow opera. They go through. Then we bring out Jacob Norton and Ansley Burns, and both of them are eliminated. Was kind of surprised to see Ansley out. The way that they praised her and gave her so much story time. And then finally, the only act left and the only spot left is Gonzo, our tambourine player. He's going through. I'm really thrilled that we're going to get to see more of him. I would love to see what he brings to the live performances. So that's who's going through. Greg Morton, Marcin, Mackenzie, Carmen Carter, Sideshow Opera, Nick and Lindsay, and Gonzo, tambourine player. So that's it for that episode. If we jump ahead to the next episode, this is Jay Leno as the guest judge. 7 of the 18 acts are going to go through. 1 of them will be Golden Buzzer. So of the 17, there will be 6. 6 out of 17 remaining. So first act of the night was Dominguez Poodle Review. They did the same dog act that we've seen from every crazy dog act. But you know what? We had a dog act win the entire competition. No reason why they can't have a shot at it. So first a dog jumps over their hurdles, the next one goes through the hurdles, a third big dog goes under the hurdles, then little Ozzy the terrier, he knocks down the hurdles as he goes past them. Then one jumps over the hurdle and another dog. They do jump roping where one dog holds the end of the jump rope and the son is jump roping, and then another one where the dog is jumping over the rope. And the last big move of the night was mom holding the ring up above her head. A dog climbs the ramp, jumps over that, maybe 6-7 feet in the air through the hoop. Jay Leno said it's great, it's a lot of fun. Howie said it was chaotic. Who doesn't love chaos? Gabrielle said, we love dog acts, and even more, we love your family. Julianne said, I could see there were a few mistakes, but it was a beautiful hurricane. Simon said, fantastic chaos. Like the most fun family in the world to be a part of. Said, advice, do something Lion King related if you make it through. So he's wanting them to cash in on the Lion King craze right now. What's not to love? I thought they were really so much fun. I have a hard time imagining them as winning, but I wouldn't be surprised to see them go through to the next round. So maybe a little bit better storytelling. Bring us along. Let us know that your act has a beginning, middle, and an end. Not just, here's a bunch of things that our dogs can do and take a bow. So that's that for them. Next group of the night is DM Nation. Bunch of ladies that are from Quebec. They get a short intro package, but we did not see them in their first audition. They used strobe lights in their dancing as they kind of ramped it up a little bit. They did one throw. They were not as high-flying as The Unbeatable by a long shot. They were not as tight as the Emerald Bells by a long shot. It's kind of an amateur dance act. They took up the whole stage. I was not blown away. Jay Leno said, I liked the scary faces. I was totally blown away. Gabrielle said, you've got tough competition. Simon said, professional and technical, but there's a coldness to me. So, not expecting more from them. Then we've got Ben Trigger. This is the gentleman who did his tasseling in his first performance as he shimmied and spun those tassels. Accidentally, on purpose, hit the golden buzzer. He says that this time he's going to go serious. He's going to show his real dancing skills. So, starts off and he does his very serious real dancing, very different from the first performance. But then, record scratch, and he's back at it, and he rips off the outer layer, and two Vegas backup dancers come out, and he got his golden outfit on, and he climbs a golden staircase, and he rips off the pieces covering his chest to reveal his tassels. And then, at the end, of course, he hits the golden buzzer accidentally on purpose with his head or his headpiece. That was Ben Trigger doing Ben Trigger. Jay Leno said, it's been a long time since Crocodile Dundee, and man, have things changed in Australia. I thought that was a funny comment. How he said, this harkens back to Janet Jackson's halftime show. Gabrielle said, you gave us tassels, I wanted tassels. Julianne said, we'll discuss more tonight. And Simon says, I ask myself, where does he go from here? I don't expect to see more of him. We've seen enough. It's the same act. You're a fine dancer. It's the same joke over and over. It's okay. So next we've got Nicholas Connors. We jump right to the middle end of his song, and coming out of commercial break, we get one comment from Jay Leno. It was fantastic. I'm very impressed. And that's all that we get. I didn't even write down the name of the song. Then we're introduced to a guy named Jordan Ravi, another Australian actually. Sings a song called High Hopes. They give us one verse and one chorus. Simon said, way better than your first audition. Not that America would know. That's my comment. Not that America would know, because we didn't see his first audition. We have no story about this guy. Jay Leno said, you sounded great. You're enjoyable to watch. I'm not expecting to see more of him because we haven't seen enough of him for them to make us think that he will be. So now we're on to Benny Bryant, Benicio. He sings an original song. And I can't say that I loved the song. I can't say that it's something that really stuck with me either. Jay Leno commented, my mother would say, you have an old soul. We were looking directly into your heart. How he said, there's a lot of great acts, but only 7 are going through. That's kind of the kiss of death, isn't it? And then Simon said, I loved your first, but in a weird way, I liked this even more. Advice, don't listen to anyone but yourself. So Simon's all about labeling his advice this time. I wasn't that impressed. I didn't think the song was great. I didn't think the performance was something that I need to see again. But the judges seem to like him enough to give us that background story, give him a couple intro packages. So I wouldn't be surprised to see more of him. Next act is, something I really wish we would have gotten his first audition and more from his second audition. The guy's name is Victor Moiseev. He does horizontal juggling. So he had maybe 8 or 9 balls hanging on strings. They come down to about chest level, hung from above the stage. They're like black light balls, and he's juggling them. He does them in a big loop around. He's crossing them over each other like you would expect the chords to be braiding. I think that this is so fun to watch. We only got, we'll have to ask Cody, but maybe 15 seconds of watching this act. I was confused if we were watching his intro package of him doing this the first time, or if this was the actual act. Julianne said you were able to create an entire universe on the stage. I felt immersed. I'd love to see more of this. What a unique talent, what a unique skill that we just are not going to get anything on it. So, next act of the night, number 8, we've got Marina Mazepa. She's the ballet dancer and contortionist, and she's bringing out a pole on the stage. So She starts balanced clear up on top of the pole, face up, so her back is to the tip of the pole. There's a small thing for her to balance on. The whole thing kind of reminded me from like a scene from The Matrix, how she's got this helmet on that's sort of plugged into the machine. She does this one-armed cartwheel down the stairs. She's back to the pole and does more contortion. I really thought she was kind of fun to watch. Jay Leno said that really was art. Really, really impressed. Julianne said you have to be creative, innovative, and original, and you're all that and more. Simon said it was terrifying in a brilliant way, cold, cool, and current. So, man, I'm not one who's seen a lot of pole dancing. The pole dancing that I've seen on America's Got Talent is about the extent of it. But this was the most tasteful, impressive, fun to watch dancing that I've seen in this way. She really does a great job. She's very smooth. She can keep the storytelling going. I could expect to see her go deep in the competition. So that's Marina. Next we've got Charlotte Summers. She's a teen singer from Spain. Sings the song "You Don't Own Me." It's this kind of a fun song in a minor key. It's all about holding your own power. Jay Leno said it was an interesting song, like the first feminist song. He was blown away. Simon said there was a real rawness, which I love. My wife happened to be walking through the room when this act was on. Said she growled on like every line. She was too growly. Use it. Use that tool, but use it sparingly. You don't have to use it so much, and that's exactly what I was thinking too. So credit to her on that. Next act of the night was Callie Day, 53-year-old singer from Atlanta. We did not see Callie Day in the first round of auditions. She gets her intro package. Turns out she's a YouTube star. Sings this gospel song, real soulful, real a cappella, or I guess it wasn't a cappella because that's what Jay Leno said. I'd love to hear it a cappella. Your voice is better than any instrument. Julianne said captivating. You could hear a pin drop. You captured my heart. Simon said if people ask me what does gospel mean, I'll say listen to Callie Day. She was really enjoyable. Total control over her voice, her place on the stage. She used great dynamics. Really fun to listen to. I do wonder if after a few songs there would be some fatigue, but isn't that true of anyone or anything, any kind of music? We would grow some amount of fatigue. So really enjoyed her. Unfortunately, thinking after the first audition, we're not going to see much more from her. So next we've got a couple called Zach and Stan. One of them, they put needles in a cup. He drinks them, and then the other one pulls needles out on a string. This is all we see of their act. We don't even see judges' comments. Maybe Howie said something like it was gross, but we didn't even see enough to know that it was good or bad. So not expecting more of them. And then we had Sauce. He's the son of the Quick Changers that were on a couple seasons ago. He somehow asked the judges to write down anything that they wanted. And we had the initials of all the things they wrote down was T, E, R, R, and Y. And then he throws glitter at a painted canvas to reveal Terry Fader's face. I didn't see enough of the act to appreciate the magic in it all. So we're kind of into that montage portion where we just need to get some of these through here. Next act of the night, we had Kara with a K. She comes out, she kicks off her heels, she takes off part of her hair, gives it to one of the judges, an eyelash to another judge, another eyelash to the other judge, pulls out a bottle of red wine for Simon, says no, you would rather have white wine, takes out the bottle of white wine from under her clothing. She takes off the rest of her wig, so now she is completely bald. The whole time there are lots of bird noises and cacawing. I didn't get this act, much like the judges. It was weird just to be weird. There was no compelling reason behind any of these things happen. It was just disorienting. Howie said crazy disappointing. Jay Leno said, "You've got the moves and the personality, but not enough jokes." So, kind of a crash and burn for her. So, now we've got Iman Beisha. Iman, she's our preteen opera singer. She's very composed. She sings Lucio Dalla's Caruso, and boy, she nails it. Howie says only 10 other acts are not stepping it up, and you showed them how it's done. Simon said, "You're just like a normal person, but your voice is not trainable. It's a gift." Jay Leno said, "From a child, there's an honesty and a truth, and bada boom, bada bing, you get the golden buzzer." So I'm not terribly surprised. This was the golden buzzer. She's the totally kind of act that gets golden buzzers. She's, man, like I said, off the stage, in her real life, she's just a totally innocent, totally sweet, totally talented kid. Pretty easy to listen to, pretty fun act. So, she's she's the preteen opera singer that we've seen before, but we'll see more of her thanks to Jay Leno. So, next act of the night, we've got Eric Chen. He's going to do some coin tricks, lots of things moving around. First, he puts 4 coins in Jay Leno's hand, closes his hand. And then he says, "Imagine taking one, putting it in my hand," and then, wow, there's 3 in Jay's hand and 1 in Eric's hand. I don't know how he does this stuff. It's all sleight of hand. He sits at a table, draws a circle on a card, pulls a coin out of the card, splits and moves and appears and disappears, and coins moving all over all over the place. It's really crazy. And then he puts the coin back in Jay Leno's hand, and he turns it into a circle of marker. The coin disappears. Howie said that was more spectacular. You were less nervous. You upped your game. Julianne said, "There's a wonderment about you. You make us feel like anything's possible." Simon says, "I think the close-up is great for a while, but in Vegas, you have to be able to do something big." I don't agree. I think that this is the kind of thing that Shin Lim went on. I think this is the kind of thing that translates really well to TV. We can watch a lot of this. I think it's fun to watch. I don't know how he pulled any of that off, really. It was very engaging. I don't know that bigger is always better, so don't necessarily take Simon's advice. Next act of the night, we've got just a few more. We had Voices of Service. This is the 4 active and retired military vets. Very much gets an intro package, so I'm thinking there's no way they aren't going through. Do a song, "When I See You Again." They get a standing ovation from the judges. Judges' comments, Jay Leno said, "I can tell it comes from the heart. You really are healers." Howie said, "Along with everybody, thank you for your service and making it tougher on us." Gabrielle said, "Thank you for your service. Your voices inspire, heal, and provide hope." And Simon said, "We really like you guys. All your voices are amazing." Crystal, the one lady with the team, she has a phenomenal voice. So this is a good act. I rarely get goosebumps watching a singing act, but man, they got me. I felt it. Their vocals are so just buttery smooth. They're so emotionally present. It does not feel fake or forced. 3 out of the 4 of them soloed. I think each one felt better than the last. They're so good, so easy to listen to. I could see them definitely going deep. So that's them. Second to last act of the night, we had Jonathan Burns. First time he was rolled out in a suitcase. He's the comedy contortionist. This time he comes out with his legs coming out of a suitcase. He walks himself out on the stage. So does a couple of tricks. He flips some whipped cream into his mouth, off of his fingers, gets Terry to do the same. There was some plastic bag comedy involved. Simon said it was awful. Gabrielle said, "Not your night tonight." That's all we got. I think he went a little bit Kara K, just a little bit too obscure. Not enough storytelling. Not enough making sense of it all. So too bad for him. Not his best act. And then finally, we're around to our comedian, Jackie Fabulous. She definitely gets an intro package all about her and her mom and how her mom likes to call her a lawyer, not a comedian. And this is the first time that her mom has come to watch her watch her perform comedy. So makes a couple jokes. I tried the juice cleanse. Turns out I'd rather have diabetes. Talks about how the best lover ever is somebody who's totally unmarriable. So, well, judges said, Jay Leno said, you did a good job. Howie said, what a waste of 6 years of college. Gabrielle said, congrats, you made it really, really tough. Simon said, I found it hilarious. I was listening as your mom, and it's no wonder you haven't invited her to any of your shows. So, she's a little bit dirty, a little bit edgy, I guess would be the right word. This is not my favorite act. I don't know. The whole unmarriable part of the set was just I didn't relate to it, but that's me. So I didn't care for it. It's not really my thing. So those are the 18 acts. We got a golden buzzer for Iman Beisha. So there are 17 acts, and only 6 of them are going to go through. We'll kind of walk through it the way that they did. First was Voices of Service. They were the only ones on stage, and they're definitely going through. So next we bring out Eric Chen, our magician, Sauce, the magician, and Zach and Stan. They said only Eric is going through. So we've got 2 of those 6 spots filled. Now we've got Jonathan Burns and Carol with a K. Boy, they did not pull any punches with these guys. They said it was awful, and you're both not going through. So that was too bad, but not a surprise. Next one out here was Callie Day, that gospel singer. They said it was hard, but you're eliminated. Then we've got Marina, the ballet contortionist, and Victor, that horizontal juggler. I'd be disappointed to not see Marina go through, and it turns out that Marina does, in fact, go through. So that was that. And then they do another split. We've got Charlotte Summers and Nicholas Connors. Nicholas Connors, you're not going through. Charlotte, you are. So we've got 4 of the 6 spots filled. So we've got to start eliminating some of these. We've got Dominguez Poodle Review on the stage along with DM Nation and Ben Trigger. You're all eliminated. Jackie Fabulous, you're going through. And then Jordan Ravi and Benicio Bryant. Well, we need to talk this over. Jordan and Benicio leave the stage. We're going to conference, and they come back on the stage, and Benicio's going through. I'm not sure if they were thinking that Jordan was going to go through the first time, or if it was Benicio, or what they ended up doing here, but Benicio is the last spot filled. So Voices of Service, Eric Chen, Marina Mazepa, Charlotte Summers, Jackie Fabulous, and Benny Bryant. So those are the 6 for that group. We've got we're locked and loaded for the lives now. We're going to have a few live rounds before we start getting into I guess the very finals here. We've got lots of content coming up. Would love to hear your thoughts. Reach out if you have complaints or otherwise. We'd love to chat with you guys. Check us out on Twitter, AGT Time, Facebook, AGTcast, or agtcast@gmail.com. You can reach out to me directly, One Man Bander on Twitter, or at Cody L. Patterson for Mr. Cody Patterson. But that's all for tonight. I will wish you all the best. We'll enjoy talking live performances here shortly. Thanks, everybody. Bye.